This is one of those weird things in the NBA where not talking about on the court performance, not talking about strategy, X's and O's, not talking about the front office, the coaching staff, or the players. We're talking about Kevin Durant's not happy because he left Golden State. They won a championship before and after he was there. So Kevin Durant's probably not going to be happy in his lifetime. Why are we doing this again and again and again? Every time Kevin Durant loses in the playoffs, this is the same conversation that everybody likes to bring up. Maybe we should talk about this after we come back from the intro. Get this video, like, subscribe to the channel. When we come back, we're going to talk about Kevin Durant's happiness with the ESPN First Take crew.
He's heating up.
Kevin Durant in Phoenix is a problem. It is a problem. We don't see it because the stats are there. Him and Booker averaged 27 points per game and what have you. But they say Kevin Durant is never happy. They say that he went more than a month without even talking to the head coach. They say that he doesn't look happy there. And all he wants to do is play when the game starts and tip-off time arrives. But when it comes to ingratiating yourself with your teammates and getting along with everybody and stuff like that, he just lives in his own world.
Have we heard this rumor somewhere before? Because I guarantee you, maybe it's not verbatim, but it's along the same lines of what Brian Windhorst reported about Kyrie Irving years ago. Something to think about.
He's not hated, he's not despised, he's not doing anything negative, he's not being somebody that's two-faced and behind people back doing stuff. No, that's not who Kevin Durant is, but keeping to himself. Why does that matter? It's similar to what he was doing in Golden State before he ultimately departed, which is what was driving Draymond Green crazy, which is why they ultimately got into it on the court in that Clippers game and what have you, because...
Let's talk about that situation. That situation arose because he wasn't focused on the contract situation. That's what he was saying. Most people are thinking he might leave. That's fully up to him to decide that. Whether he wants to stay or go, that's up to him. And then also on top of that, everybody's talking about, you know what? He's never going to be loved like Steph. He's never going to be the guy that you consider to be the one that led them to the championship because they were a 73-9 team and they already had rings and all this. That might have an effect on somebody's happiness, somebody's peace of mind, if the whole outside world is continuously going at you every single day when you've already accomplished what you came there to accomplish. So I'm really not understanding why everybody has this idea that we're going to continuously attack him. We're going to continuously go at him. And when he responds, when he has an attitude, when he seems upset, where he seems unpleased, Kevin Durant's happiness has to be brought into question when clearly he's being provoked. A lot of these reactions that you get out of Kevin Durant on social media, and you know, when he talks about Stephen A, when he talks about all these other reporters that don't really know the game, a lot of it is provoked because of conversations just like this.
As you hear stuff, you hear about the level of unhappiness, etc., and you get tired of it because when you don't want to talk and when you don't want to answer questions, you don't want to lead in a very visible way, well, that forces other people to have to step up and take on a level of culpability that they don't want to stomach. And so because of all of that stuff, that's the untold stuff that's going on in Phoenix. There's more than that. Make no mistake, it's not all on Kevin Durant, but that's a big part of it, which is why you've got to disband this group. They're not a big three.
All right, look. Making that a selling point for why you need to break up the Suns, that makes no sense whatsoever. So you're saying that Kevin Durant's happiness is a big part of why the Phoenix Suns got swept in the playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right. So when you go back, all right, Brooklyn, now he's in Phoenix. All right. Brooklyn lost to Boston. Maybe they weren't the better team. They lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe they weren't the better team. they lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Maybe they weren't the better team. Not because Kyrie was unhappy or James Harden was unhappy or Kevin Durant. They just weren't better than the teams that they were going against. And when you look at the way this team was constructed, yes, they needed a point guard. Frank Vogel asked for one. Front office didn't give it to him because they're paying the big three so much money they really can't spend anywhere else. Those are the problems that the Phoenix Suns are really facing. Trying to make this about Kevin Durant and he's not happy again and he's just sucking the life out of the locker room and nobody wants to approach him. He doesn't want to be friends with anybody. Just let the man play ball. All right. The job of Kevin Durant in this scenario is to show up, get buckets. He showed up, he got buckets. There's other people involved that didn't do their job, which means the Phoenix Suns are in this situation because the front office didn't build the team around this big three the way they were supposed to. That's why they got bounced in the first round in a sweep to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not because Kevin Durant's walking around like a vampire, same way they said about Russell Westbrook, same thing they said about Kyrie Irving. All of these rumors surrounding these players talking about their happiness and they're not happy and they're not people that you want in your locker room. They're not friendly and stuff like that. Where is this stuff coming from? You never hear it from Kevin Durant. You never hear it from Devin Booker or Bradley Beal or Yusuf Nurkic. You never hear from the teammates that are there. It's always, a source that says this or somebody that's around the team, an insider said X, Y, and Z about the team, but you never hear it directly from the team. So what exactly are we doing? Why are we calling this journalism? Why are we reporting on this as if it's a fact? If you ask the player himself, he's going to say otherwise. Now you can say, oh no, he's lying. Why would we continuously put so much weight in what people on TV who aren't on the team say versus the people that are actually in the locker room? Thanks to Mark Cuban, he did his homework on Kyrie Irving, talked to some of former teammates, former staff members, coaches, front office members, found out that a lot of the rumors surrounding Kyrie Irving, in fact, were not true. It was just the media playing up on rumors that were tossed around by certain people who, quote unquote, have sources connected to the team. That's a problem. And it's starting to be so frustrating when you watch the NBA be analyzed in such a way, the NFL being analyzed in such a way, all these sports leagues where we're questioning things that have nothing to do with the actual game. And those are the things that get attached to these players. We're not talking about Kevin Durant's greatness the way we should. We don't talk about Kyrie Irving's greatness the way we should. We don't talk about Russell Westbrook's greatness the way we should. We talk about all the other stuff, even though they're not causing any other problems off the court. They're not, in jail, getting arrested, DUIs, all that other stuff. They're not doing any of those things. But you're concerned that their happiness is the reason that these franchises are. Come on, man. Come on, man. Do better, ESPN. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. Is the Phoenix Suns' success or inability to be successful hinged on Kevin Durant's happiness? That's one more for the good guys.
He's heating up.